Hello everyone, just want to give you a quick, fast idea here for Sana. We're building a squad around her. Right underneath her leadership, she has a lot of, you know, stuff that she gives out to rebels, rebel tanks. Um, really helps beef them up, which is good because a lot of them needs kind of a lifter. But under here, under her, a professional I can trust-ish. All non-scandal allies are inflicted with suspicious for one turn when um, a rebel ally takes a turn, or when Sana evades attack, or when Sana attacks out of turn. Now, suspicious, you reduce your speed by 10, you increase your critical chance by 100%. Um, the extra damage, I'm not sure if it's going to really help you that much. With your decreased turns, essentially, is what that's going to equal -10 speed. So if you have someone like Princess Leia on the team, she's going to be constantly being, slowed down by everybody else. Um, Now, something to consider is if there's enough rebel characters that have the scoundrel tag too. So I'm going to jump over here to the scoundrels. Obviously, at the top here, Chewbacca, Han Solo, great characters, rebels, but their home is Commander Luke. You don't want to be taking him off that team. Very vital for that team. So the rest of the top won't work. We have Captain Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, both rebels. Obviously, have the scoundrel tag, so there's two. Uh, Sana as the leader. We got Stormtrooper Han, which is with an obvious call out in her kit in a couple areas. So we got three, and we just need one more. A lot of these characters down through here are bounty hunters, different factions, Wookiees. Um, but we do have one more down here, Cara Dune. She is a tank, rebel scoundrel, so she would definitely work for the team. So kind of give you an overall picture here. We have Sana, Captain Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, Stormtrooper Han, and Cara Dune. She has four all rebel scandal allies. This is an idea to try to use if you don't want to have that suspicious, constantly slowing down characters. This definitely does work in building teams around Leia. As you can see, you can create like an Akbar team down here for some of your leftover rebels if you want. You have Sana, Leia. You can still have a Mon Mothma team. This is not going to affect Commander Luke team. You can have a Mon Mothma team. Still have a Rogue One. Um, you can still have a Saw Gerrera team and a Phoenix squad. I mean, it doesn't pull from any of the other teams that you can build under Rebels, which is important when you're trying to keep a certain amount of teams up for territory wars and Grand Arena. Obviously, the Akbar is not a super great team, but you could use it to go in there and mop up some weaker teams that they might throw on defense. And never know, they're always coming out with new characters. So this Akbar team, like maybe in the future, we could get rid of like Luke Skywalker, Farm Boy, and there might be a Rebel lifter we can plug in there that would go with Akbar really well. Never know, with the game always changing. So, kind of gives you an idea. I mean, definitely could go into the different kits here a little bit. Londo here, I mean, he's a damage dealer. I mean, he's gonna has his gambling shot here, as you can see, has a 30% chance additional scoring critical hit, which goes good with Sana. Here's an AoE. It has scores more than one critical hit. His cooldown to reset. So he definitely goes well with Sana, because when you do critical hits, you get target locks on your opponent, which then helps Sana with her special getting stagger and getting an extra instance of damage. And then Londo right here gets extra critical chance, gains critical chance up when he scores critical hit. So he definitely fits in well with her. And just to show you what I'm talking about, deal special damage to all enemies, inflict tenacity down, deal damage again to all target locked enemies, and stagger them for one turn. And over here under her leadership, gonna scroll down here a little bit. This is all the buffs and different things that they do. They can remove some turn meter. Well, this is where Rebel Scoundrel removes turn meter, then he does 20% damage to their max health, which is Stormtrooper Han. That's a call out to him. This is where when they're called out of turn, they get 25% max health for the rest encounter. And then down here in this big long text, whenever Rebel allies or Sonic critically hit an enemy, they inflict target lock for one turn. And then when you inflict target lock, you reduce your Rebel Scoundrel tanks cooldowns by 1. So it kind of, you help your tanks, you help Sana. So so he goes really good with her. Up here at the top, Scoundrel tanks get plus 30% defense, max health, max protection, gain 50% turn meter whenever non-tank Rebel allies or Sana is damaged. Rebel allies get plus 30% offense and potency, which is good. They also get 100% protection up until they use an ability. That's most of it right there. Sana over here gives herself some extra stuff like 35% critical counter chance, 20% critical chance. Kind of helps her whenever Sana assists. She recovers 20% protection. Rebel allies recover half that amount. And down here, whenever the enemy is inflicted with target lock, Sana gains 5% turn meter. So not only is she able to use her special more effective way, but she's also gaining turn meter. And then Captain Han Solo, he's more of a support. His disabling shot does decent amount of damage. He can inflict daze. Can get 30% turn meter. if you have full health. This is good. You dispel debuffs on and target other ally. Cover health. Gain turn meter. To have full health, you gain protection. And of course, this cooldown is reduced by 1 whenever your allies suffer debuffs. Search and rescue. Revive a random defeated ally. If that ally is a rebel, they recover 50% health and gain 50% turn meter. And Captain Han Solo gets, some critical chance, critical damage. This is going to help, with the sauna kits, gain those target locks up. At the end of his turn, he covers health equal to 10% of his max health. If he's already fully healed, then he basically heals the least healthy ally. Whenever he uses a basic attack, he gains a plus 10% max health stacking for 3 turns. So this helps make him tankier. So right there, he kind of also ties into Sauna with that crit chance. You get the debuff, some debuff removal, revive. Revive is good especially with 2 tanks. If one goes down, you can revive them. It just makes the team really irritating to get past if you can constantly revive your tanks. Unless they come up with a team that's a lot more high power, like, Jedi Knight Revan can get around taunts. But then that can be considered a win, because if you take out their Jedi Knight Revan, that might force him to lose on another battle, like if you're in Grand Arena. Stormtrooper Han has really good synergy with her. Han has 25% chance to remove 30% turn meter from each enemy at the start of each of his turns. So right there, 5 chances. Odds are you'll remove turn meter from one of them. In addition, Han recovers 5% protection, has a 25% chance to remove 10% turn meter from each enemy when he is damaged. So so when you put him with Sana, you add that 20% max health damage on top of the turn meter removal. He's a good asset on the team. Deal physical damage to target enemy, a 70% chance to gain turn meter. Extra turn meter is always good. This is his taunt, draw fire, taunts for 3 turns. All the other allies gain 30% turn meter. In addition, all other allies gain 20% turn meter when Han is damaged while his taunt is active. So, even though this is old kit, goes really great. You're speeding everyone else up, and you have the potential with Sana's kit to do some pretty good damage when they do attack you, and you can remove that turn meter. And it's just not turn meter on one person, it's an entire enemy squad. And for the last character, Rebel, Scoundrel, Tank, it fits all those things. If there's a Scoundrel ally in the leader slot, which obviously Sana is, Cara Dune gains stealth until the end of her next turn. If there's a Rebel ally leader slot, Cara loses stealth and gains taunt for 2 turns. Cara Dune gains potency up for 1 turn, then deals physical damage to all enemies, removes 50% of their turn meter. Right here, another instance of turn meter removal. So she would not only be doing damage, removing turn meter, but also doing that 20% of their max health damage on top of that. So another great tie-in. When stealth, Cara Dune has plus 100% critical chance, plus 50% critical damage. When she loses taunt, she gains stealth for 1 turn at the start of her next turn. Just kind of some stat boost in that one. And then this one, Cara Dune gains critical hit immunity for 2 turns, plus 100% turn meter whenever an Empire enemy is defeated. Half that for non-Empire enemies. Cara Dune has potency up when she is defeated. She is revived with 50% of her max health and gains potency up for 1 turn. So she has a kind of a built-in revive, which kind of helps Captain Han Solo with keeping the team alive. Obviously, she gets some extra benefits right here when you defeat enemies. And we're just going to jump out. We're going to go back over to Sana real quick. And as you can see, unfortunately, Sana is only a scoundrel. She doesn't have the rebel tag. So when you're using Cara Dune is not going to unstealth herself and get that taunt. So, for this team, Stormtrooper Han is going to be your main tank. Cara Dune is tough. She's not going to really get this taunt here by, losing her. She's not going to, lose taunt here and get some of these kit things here that she might otherwise be getting. For example, right here, and there was another call out for the taunt in another spot had popped up. Rebel ally in the leader slot. Cara Dune loses stealth, gains taunt for 2 turns. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So she's going to mostly be stealthing, doing damage, removing turn meter. So you want to mod her more towards that direction. More of her infiltrator capabilities and less for her taunt effect. But even without taunt, she's pretty tough, and she will be able to help absorb the damage if Stormtrooper Han does go down temporarily. So that just gives you an idea of what to look for, things to consider, and hopefully this guys give you some idea how to build your Leia squad, how to throw in some characters for Sana, and you can put some leftover characters with Akbar, which Akbar is a good leader. He'll help kind of boost him up a little bit, and hopefully you can get some use out of him. Obviously, you can use different characters different places. My mama team's a little bit different than some other people, but hopefully this guys gives you some ideas. And just leave some comments. Please subscribe, and I'll be making some more videos to help you guys on your journey.